Hi everyone. I wanted to come on and do an update and clue you in on a health journey that I'm actually working on right now. Some of you that know me in real life know that I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And in this video, I'm just going to share some information about what rheumatoid arthritis is and how I've really come to look at just trying to be healthy instead of being a certain size. For a really long time in my life, a size 6 or a size 8 was, where, you know, I was for decades. That was the size that I wore. And with the rheumatoid arthritis, I really got knocked on my butt because I couldn't even walk. When I was first diagnosed and I had gone into the hospital and they told me what it was, I limped in and I was in really bad shape because I could barely move. And what rheumatoid arthritis is, it's an autoimmune disease, and what happens is your joints swell. They don't really understand why it happens, and so for that reason, there's no cure. They give you medicine to help you manage the symptoms, but as of yet, since they don't really, know um, how to control it or cure it, there's no cure. So what had happened was I had really swollen wrists, and I have pictures where the hump that's there right now, you can see it a little bit, was huge. It was so high it was visible. Same thing with my ankles, my knees, swollen to the point where I couldn't put on a shoe, even a sneaker. So I had to wear flip flops because of how swollen my ankles and my feet were. The fingers were so swollen, my ring had to be resized. And when it swells, I can't get it on or off easy. Um, just so many small things. If the rheumatoid arthritis is really bad, it starts to go into the shoulders and the elbows. And so even just extending my arms out like that would be a problem because they weren't able to bend. I wasn't able to, move my neck or my shoulders very well. Everything would get stiff. There's something that in the rheumatoid arthritis community we talk about called the October slide. And that's basically fall is coming, the cooler temperatures are coming in different parts of, the world. And the liquid that gathers in here in the cold weather thickens up. And so the stiffness in the joints is worse. And so for many of us that live with arthritis, the cold months, the damp, it just makes all of those arthritis uh, symptoms unbearable. And so there's actually more medicine that some doctors will prescribe during the winter months until we get back to the warm months and this liquid starts to not be as thick and it's easier to move the joint. So that's what I've kind of been adjusting to. And as you can imagine, if you can't walk and you can't lift things because you can't even close your hand around something to grip it, there was a point where my grip was like this. I couldn't close my fist. I can close my fist a little bit better. I can get it like that, but see how it can't completely close? Um, it's still swollen in my joints, even though it's a lot better today. This is considered a good day. Anybody that has rheumatoid arthritis, go ahead and comment if you have similar symptoms. I'm curious to know who else out there is dealing with this. I'm going to actually post links to some of the Instagram and Facebook people that I follow that have rheumatoid arthritis and that regularly post and offer online support. It's a way for us to encourage each other when we're not feeling good. And the only thing that you're able to do that day is get out of bed and shower. It's still a victory because you were able to get out of bed. There were days when I was early into the rheumatoid arthritis diagnosis, I couldn't get out of bed and I was in a lot of pain. And I would just pray. I'd be like, oh God, how long is this going to last? Give me the strength to get through it. Give me patience because it's it's upsetting and annoying when you have plans and then your plans are ruined, or you're the one that has to cancel the plans. I always consider myself to be super responsible, and so I hate canceling on people in the last minute. But if I have a flare up and everything is swollen, like even my face is puffy and swollen, and that's because of the steroid that I was on. You just physically are not able to do whatever you were supposed to do, whether it was meet a friend to go for a walk or go to someone's birthday party, or I enjoy volunteering and serving at church. If I'm not physically capable of getting up and doing self-care stuff like brush my hair or take a shower, or get dressed, I've learned a few tricks to getting dressed with arthritis that some of the older women that I work with taught me. So I now know how to put on a bra when you have arthritis and how to get it off when you have arthritis. But and there's aids, there's different things that you can buy that are supposed to help you put on jeans that need to button. I didn't have good luck with those. Same thing with socks. Like there's certain elastic socks, pants, things like Spanx. I can't get them on because my grip strength is so bad and it hurts to try to grip things too and pull it. It's just not going to happen. Like even compression socks, I can't put compression socks on, even with an arthritis aid to try to help me put it on. So there are days when getting dressed is really difficult. There were tops that I gave away just because they fit, but with the arthritis, I did not have the mobility in my arms and shoulders in order to get it on and take it off. There were quite a few times, and it still happens, where my spouse has to help me get dressed. Doesn't mind doing the undressing, but getting dressed and undressed with someone's help because I don't have the mobility in order to do it myself. It's one of the reasons why my hair doesn't look the way that it used to in some of the older videos before I had gotten diagnosed. I can't style and stand there and try to, straighten or curl my hair because I am exhausted. Some people have talked about getting a chair in there so I can sit and blow dry my hair. Uh, it's also a matter of doing that motion and keeping your arms up while you're styling your hair. If I was a hairdresser, I would be completely out of it. I would have to find a new field, and I wouldn't be able to work in it at all because of the amount of grip strength and upper body strength you need in order to style your hair, especially my hair. It's still thick, even though I lost some of it due to the methotrexate they put you on, which is a chemo pill for those of you that don't know. And so let me talk a little bit about that. In addition to putting the support group stuff on here for people that do have the rheumatoid arthritis, let me speak a little bit to the people that are family members of people that have RA or another type of autoimmune disease. It is very hard to ask for help, and it's annoying. Now, somewhere along the journey, I might get more comfortable with it. And I'm getting better when it comes to family and friends and saying to family and friends, I need a break. I'm starting to hurt. I can't do that. You need to find someone else to do that. And my family members and friends will accommodate me. My job, where I work part-time because of the disability, has been pretty understanding that there are certain things that I just can't do. There's a certain amount of weight that I can't lift or carry. There are certain motions with my hands that I can't do. For example, if you asked me to tie a balloon, I can't do that. My fingers cannot bend in order to do that. I haven't tied my shoelaces, and well, since I've been diagnosed with RA, I haven't tied my shoelaces because, if your fingers are really puffy, you can't make the motion in order to loop things and pull things through. Like it's very hard to grip things sometimes. And I think you can imagine as an adult, like if you can't do something basic like that, you feel like you've been thrown back into childhood. Like, I'm helpless. I can't do anything. I can't even tie my shoes. And so There's a big adjustment when someone is first diagnosed with an autoimmune disease to realize, you know, I have to ask for help. I have to problem solve and figure out, okay, I can't do this anymore. How am I going to keep a certain level of independence? Because that's what's annoying about it. You know, I remember a day, all I wanted to do was just have a pickle, and the pickle jar had already been opened, but I could not open it with the arthritis. And that pickle jar just kind of like mocked me. And I'm like, I'm going to put the pickles back in the refrigerator because I have to wait for someone to come home in order to open that pickle jar for me. And since then, we found an automatic jar opener that works pretty well. It doesn't work on all jars um, because it can only do certain sizes, but it works on pickle jars. So no more going without pickles at lunchtime. I think the other thing that's really difficult to adjust to is the amount of medicine that you have to take. On Saturdays, I take 10 pills. 10 pills is a lot, you know. That's the only day that I have to take that many pills for my RA, but I mean, you can imagine, you know, standing at the kitchen counter and just pill after pill, because I'm not one of those people that can just dump the whole thing out of my mouth and swallow it in one gulp. I admire people that can do that. I can't do that. I'm doing it one at a time, and so it takes me a little bit of work to do that. And then the medication is something that you have to eat with. So within 30 minutes to an hour, I need to be eating something solid so that all that medicine just isn't sitting in my stomach doing nothing. So I've had a couple of people say to me, um, you know, you're gaining weight. I had someone actually say to me, are you pregnant? Are you expecting? And I'm just like, great. My RA is being confused with, you know, me being pregnant. Love it. Thank you, everybody. And it's like, yeah, I have put on weight. This is probably the heaviest I've ever been. When you take steroids and you take prednisone, there's nothing you can do. Your body is getting the message to eat. And I consider myself to be a pretty disciplined person. Telling yourself it's not real hunger doesn't work. You want to eat something. And especially, you know, when the medicine says you have to take it with food, that's the perfect excuse to have to eat something. So now at this point, you know, we're into the October slide, but I'm still trying to keep walking and keep moving and keeping my mobility. And so even though the weather is changing, I'm still trying to keep up the same exercise routine, which will hopefully keep these joints from stiffening up so that when it's winter time, I'll be able to still move and get dressed and undressed without anybody's help. That would be really great. I also wanted to kind of just let you know, since I have gained weight and since I am trying to deal with this autoimmune disease, I've tried to make healthier choices. When I was diagnosed, the first thing that my rheumatologist told me was, you have to stop drinking Diet Coke. You have to not eat any more processed meats. Try not to eat processed foods in general. Don't eat fast food. What else did he tell me to give up? But there were certain things that he said were good for me to eat. So things like chia seed, flaxseed, avocados, certain nuts, not to overdo it, because again, it's a good fat, but it's still a fat. And I've had to, revamp my diet because of the RA, but also now I'm also counting calories more because I want to lose some of that weight that I've lost due to the steroid. And so if you do know me or see me in real life, please don't ask me if I'm expecting. I'm not. I'm aware that I'm puffy right now and I'm working on it. There's that comedian, you know who he is, that talks about being fluffy. Okay, I'm a little fluffy in the middle. It's kind of cute though. I'm like squishy to hug now. But I really just need to be healthy. Like that is the most important thing, is to be healthy. I mean, this puffiness might not go away even if I get into a better physical state and have more flexibility and more muscle. I'm also, I'm after menopause right now. I'm postmenopausal. So joy of joys, I have all these things hitting me at once because I'm in my 50s. And, you know, anybody that's been through menopause will tell you it is not fun. I've heard girls complain about, getting their menstrual cycles. Would way rather go through that again than go through some of the menopause symptoms. It's horrible. It's embarrassing. I just, no one prepares you for it. There's a magazine out right now, Oprah's magazine, and she's on the cover and she's talking about menopause. When I was growing up, no one talked about it. No one clued it in. There's an episode of that 70s show where Kitty tries to talk to her mother about menopause, and her mother's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. As if when you're in your 70s, you're still getting, a period, which is ridiculous. But that's how much, it was never talked about. And so one of the things that I hope to do with this channel is talk about some stuff that people don't want to talk about, and normalize the fact that, hey, guess what, this is the cycle that a woman's body goes through, and this is some of the things that can happen along the way. And so if you're interested in, joining me on this healthy journey with regular updates about where I am in terms of flexibility and reps and strength and how many minutes I'm able to do and how many miles I'm able to do, please feel free to subscribe and let me know if you have a goal that you're trying to reach. I have a goal because I'm traveling to Europe next year, and Europe requires a lot of walking. And so I want to make sure that I'm able to keep up with the activities and do everything that I want to on the list. And I realize that there's going to have to be times where I take breaks, but I don't want to miss out on. I'm going in April, so it's a really good time of year for where I'm going, and there's certain events and happenings, and I just don't want to miss out on any of the fun, because who knows if I'll ever be able to go there again, especially during peak season. So again, I'm going to share some of my resources that I've used, having that adjustment to the diagnosis of RA. We're not going to get into some of the other stuff that I'm dealing with. That could be for a different day. But yeah, if you want to join me in terms of, being healthy, eating healthy, learning about some of the smoothie recipes that I'm doing, please hit subscribe and join me. I would love for us to support each other. And if you have RA, to especially, support you. Even if the smallest thing that you do today is just the hand exercises to try to get that fluid moving around in your hands. I can do this today, so that is an amazing day. I know it doesn't look like much, but for those of you that have hand arthritis, you know how amazing it is to be able to do all those hand movements. So there's a certain hand movement I would like to give to the disease rheumatoid arthritis, but I can't do that on camera because I think I'll get in trouble. But to everybody else, I hope that you have a fabulous day. Today it is sunny outside, and it's a beautiful fall day. So I've already done my walk for the day and gotten my steps in on my trusty tracker. And I hope that you get to go out and enjoy some of nature and just have peace of mind and know that I'm here, and you can watch this at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and leave a comment, and I'll read it later, but I'm here, and I want to hear who else is dealing with this. Thank you, and have a great day.